Okay, it is our team call, November the 11th, and we are going to start off with a little bit of an Instagram training because Stephanie works on Instagram, like it's her job. And so it's her job to know kind of like what the trends are. I keep seeing that thing behind and thinking it's my hair. She knows kind of like what the trends are as far as hashtags and posts and like what Instagram is doing to push or not push your content out. So, Stephanie, please take it away.
Do you know how to share my screen? Like, how do I do that? Can I do that?
I think, let me see if I can make you a host.
Oh, I see it. Hold on.
Can you?
Yeah,
that works.
Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
And can you hear me?
What do I do? Yeah.
Okay. So, like MK said, my other job is that I work for a social media marketing company. And so I have to do Instagram as well as other social media for other companies and run their profiles. And so all that to say, I'm not an expert, but in my job, I have to listen to a lot of experts, and we have to know what's going on for our clients. So I don't want you to go to my page and be like, what is she talking about? She does not have like a really big following. She must not know what she's talking about. I'm not an expert. Really, no one is an Instagram expert because it's a lot of just our best educated guesses. And a lot of that is because it's changing all the time. What I'm telling you now could change tomorrow, could change back again in a few days. But there are a lot of people who have devoted their full-time jobs to figuring out how Instagram works and how we can make it work for us. So what we do need to keep in mind is that Instagram changes in an effort to keep Instagram free of like spam and bots and sales and other non-organic crap, which is good for us. We want to be connecting with people. We don't want to be connecting with bots. This is going to seem, when you're talking about the algorithm and stuff like that, it might seem frustrating, but most of the changes are helpful for us in helping us interact with humans and have good organic connections. So also just a reminder to do your own research and to do what you think is best for you and to be most authentic to you and your brand. So take this all with a grain of salt, but this is what's kind of going on right now. A quick word about your profiles. We hear this a lot in a lot of our trainings, so I don't think I need to talk about it a ton, but your profile does matter. Your bio matters a lot, actually. So you want to say in your bio who you are, where you are, why you're doing what you're doing. And a lot of times that needs to be, like I said, there's a lot of trainings on this in Beachbody already, but like I help women feel confident, or XYZ, whatever that your phrase is, that I help this person do this and this is how I do it, that like I do this phrase in your bio helps a lot. And what is also important is that you have a call to action with a link. So you're like, click here to sign up for my free 5-day group. Click here to get more information on how to transform your own life. Click here and have a link. It could be to a link tree. It could be to a Google form, but you want a call to action that's like, click here to jump on the journey with me. Whatever it is, you can customize it to yourself, but call to action.
Hold on. I have a question about that actually.
Yep.
So I've heard in a lot of trainings, I help blank do blank, like I help moms or I help women get fitness results and find purpose through motherhood or something like that. But I always have I've never done it because I thought it kind of like screams another MLM. So do you see this from like people that are selling things or just in general? Like why do they say that's good to have in there?
It's part of the, I'm going to look at what you have now. You have like sharing my postpartum journey on there. So it could be sharing my postpartum journey to inspire others. I don't think you have to have it. I don't have one specifically like that in mind, but I do think it is a part of like telling your story. Like if you have a phrase like that as part of your story of like, what do you do? Like, and when people ask you, like, what do you do? Like, to be able to have that phrase and say, I help, you know, or I inspire, or I, whatever, like, it's part of telling your story to, like, why people want to believe you, to get them from one place to another. Like, it's speaking from that place of confidence of, like, I'm equipped to help you get from this place where you are to this place where you want to be. So, like I said, you don't have to have it, but a lot of times it explains it for people, and it doesn't leave them like searching for information. Like, it just says pretty plainly what you're doing. Like I said, I don't have one in mine, but does that help at all?
Why don't you have one in yours?
But I need to do my own like audit. I feel like there's just not enough space there to say everything that I want to say about myself. So I need to figure out what my top priorities are there, but I have a lot going on there.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, Stephanie, that's actually a good call out, because for some reason today I noticed that my bio from Facebook just like disappeared. I have no idea what's going on with my profile, but I just went in and I redid my bio for Facebook to make it match what I did for IG, because I was watching a training that Leanne shared with me. Mm-hmm. And it was all about going from here to where you are now to make it kind of eye-catching, and to also show what you're doing, you know, as your job or whatever, but not to sound salesy. But I try to make it fit, but I noticed that the characters on Facebook are a lot less than what they allow you on IG.
I know. I wish it was more. I get it. Like, you want to draw people in, you want to have the hook. So it's something to work on. It doesn't really matter that much. Like, you want to give people the highlights, but like, it doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, I even put it down there, it doesn't matter that much. You want to give them the important like highlights, and then let them follow you to figure out the rest. So I'm going to keep going. Your highlights, like, in your top 9 do matter. So like, when people click your profile, like, and what they see matters. So you want to have like nice highlight covers. You can get them on Google. It doesn't have to be that like fancy, just to show like, hey, I'm putting an effort into my presence. And your color, I always say your color wheel needs to be in your top 9. So like, when you look at your page, again, this is not new information. What the things that are important to you, you know, like wife, dog, you know, whatever it is, like, make sure they're showing up in those top 9 photos. Make sure you have a transformation there, like, so people can see, you know, is what she is about worth following to me. But they don't matter that much. So I don't want you to be like, oh, like, this picture doesn't fit in my feed, I can't post it, like, or, you know, I'm one of those people who does like words, picture, and I can't mess up my flow. Like, don't spend that much time and energy making sure that it's a perfect grid. You want to have some, you know, cohesiveness there, and you want to have something that's inviting and bright for people to look at, but don't let it stress you out.
I have a quick question again. I was just doing this last night. Mm-hmm. My highlights. So I have like just a white thing with a pink word, but I looked at a couple other like Beachbody coaches, and some have like just a blank color, mm-hmm. and some have like an actual like picture, mm-hmm. of something in the highlight. So do you think it's better to have just like a blank circle with a color in it?
I think you should do what you would want. So like, your like white background with your pink words, like, that matches the rest of like your brand, and like, that says something about you. Like, it says you're colorful, it says you're like, you know, down to the facts. Like, you know, I'm just going to give you the words on what this means. So like, but the fact that like you have that, you know, you already like made your highlight covers or whatever, says like, I'm working on my presence here. Like, it matters like what I'm showing to you. And so I don't think it matters what it is. I think what it is a reflection of like your personality. But it's kind of like, we always say, like, don't look at other coaches, you know, to like copy them, look at them for inspiration. So you would look and say, oh, she has matching, you know, highlight covers. I'm going to have matching highlight covers, but I'm going to make them how I want to make them. So I don't think it matters what they are. Okay. Hashtags. So this can always change too. That goes back and forth. Is it better to put hashtags in the comment, like the first comment of your post, or in the caption itself? Right now, there's a slight edge for it being in the caption itself. But if that stresses you out, if you're going to share it to Facebook and then you're going to have to go in and delete it. And, if it stresses you out to have it in the caption itself, don't worry about it because it's just a slight edge, but it's there. What I do want you to know is that you need to be using 15 to 20 hashtags. If you're just using a few, it's not really going to help you that much. And what you want to do is have 5 to 10 really big hashtags, like your Transformation Tuesday, your Throwback Thursdays, your hashtag blessed, whatever those like really like cliche big hashtags that are getting a lot of users, you want 5 to 10 of those. Then you want 5 to 10 mid-range. And when you start typing in hashtags, you can see how many posts they have for that hashtag. So find some like really high number hashtags, find some like decently high, mid-range hashtags, and then have some that are specific to you, like hashtag Stephanie Cunningham fitness, hashtag, and your interests, hashtag Orlando moms, whatever those things are that relate to my life, because having a good mix of those is going to help you generate into the discover function better. So those like really popular hashtags might throw you into a popular like discover like feed or whatever, and you might get a few likes right away, which is going to keep the more I'm trying to figure out how the words are to explain this. The more action you get on your post, the more they're going to make it show up in other like areas, and then it's going to snowball and you'll get more and more and more. But you're going to do that by showing up in different levels of hashtags, and those bigger hashtags are going to help you get to the mid hashtags, which are going to help you get to the little hashtags, which I don't know if I explained it in a way that makes sense, but it will help you to do that. Also use hashtags in your stories. And Instagram, I don't know how they know this, but they know that when you like shrink them down and make them really small and try to hide them, they like no. So don't try to like hide them, or they're not gonna like make you show up in the story discover feed. So you can use up to 3 hashtags. You can use that one like sticker hashtag, and then you can use 2 more that are just from like typing it in. And in your stories, you want to use like the most broad, popular, big hashtags, and that's going to keep you showing up in people's stories more.
Does it matter to use like typing out your hashtags, or does like the sticker, like the actual sticker one, promote your story more? Or where do these stories even go, like when you hashtag them?
There's like in the discover function, when you go in, like you can see like a bunch of different stories at the top sometimes.
Wait, mine never have stories.
Mine doesn't anymore right now, but it used to.
Okay. Noted.
Maybe I just don't really know for it. I don't know. I don't think so. I always do use the sticker and then do 1 or 2 more, like if I'm using them. I don't always use hashtags, but I don't know if it matters or not. Locations. Don't forget to use locations, like use them in your posts and use them in your stories too. And as more specific you can be, the better. I say, be as specific as you're comfortable with. I never like use my neighborhood, or I don't even like saying like which library like my kids and I go to, it's because I just want to be careful. But if you're like out with your girlfriends and you're visiting a cute coffee shop, like you want to tag that coffee shop, or yeah. And again, there's a whole science behind why like being specific helps, but I don't actually know it. I listened to a podcast about it, and in one ear out the other. And don't be afraid to like use them even if you're traveling and it's not like I'm in another city and I'm not in my home city, like I don't want to use that hashtag. But we work in a business where we can meet people all around the world, so you might ping more ping people around there who want to follow you. Stories. So I already said use locations and hashtags in your story, but another thing is it seems like Instagram is testing a system where it uses the text that you put in your stories to push your stories to other people. So if you're talking about working out, you'll get pushed to people who are working out. If you're talking about, like today I was like said something in mine about first time home buyers, so I got lots of like realtor type people. And so it also really helps people. Like, I hardly ever listen to stories with the sound on. And so like if people are like just going through your stories, it gives them something to read to know if they want to keep watching, or if they want to turn the volume on and listen to you. So you don't have to like do word for word. You don't have to do word for word what you're saying, just a little like caption of what you're talking about or what's going on. Okay, third-party apps. So third-party apps are any app or service that you have to give your password to. So like all of these follower apps or unfollow apps or cleaner or any of those type of apps that you're using to like see who unfollows you or follows you or all those things. Like I said, any app or service that you have to give your password to. Instagram's going to know when you're using them. And some of them, it's fine, you can use them, but it's going to hurt your algorithm. You might notice that like before I started using this unfollow app, I was getting 100 likes on all my posts, and I started using this unfollow app and now I'm using 60. It's because they don't reward that behavior. And so it might be worth it for a season if you need to do some mass unfollowing, just because it's so easy to use the apps. But just know it might hurt your algorithm, and you're gonna have to like work your way back up, which I'll talk about it again in a second. I'll talk about it right now, actually. Okay, so that mysterious algorithm. What Instagram is looking for is, are you a good community member? So they really, really value quality over quantity. And this is going to go a little bit against what you're going to hear in a lot of Beachbody trainings, so take it with a grain of salt. But Instagram is rewarding any positive interaction with your posts, and it's going to bump your algorithm up. So a positive interaction would be how long someone looks at your post, how long it takes them to scroll by it. Did they scroll by it and then go back to see it? That would be a positive interaction. Did they click see more on the caption? Did they save it? Did they play the video? Like any kind of positive interaction on your post will help you go up in your algorithm. So you want to focus on having good posts and catchy first lines of your captions. Something that's going to make them want to click see more. So you don't want to just be cranking out 3-4 crappy posts a day just to keep showing up, because if people are scrolling quickly by your post, that's going to give you negative interaction and bump you down in the algorithm. So quality over quantity. They're also rewarding video content right now. It's really big. They're going to be pushing people who are creating videos. So that could be videos or lives, or especially Instagram TV right now. They just see that as you creating good content, and they, see that as you being a good community member, and that's going to they're going to promote that more and push your algorithm up more. Also, savable content. Anytime someone clicks that save button, that like tells Instagram, oh, this person's making good content. So pretty quotes, stuff like that, things that people are going to want to save. I mean, I have a ton of stuff that I save, so just think of stuff that you save and why did you save it, and that will.
You guys save stuff?
All the time.
I legit.
Also, it's a whole generation Z, is that what comes after millennials? I just listened to a whole podcast on it, on how they save information and have interest, like full interest camera rolls.
Pinterest?
Mm-hmm.
Pinterest on your Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with it?
I have one for my house that like I'm gonna paint the house after Christmas, so like house colors. I have one for like quotes. I have one
So
for
it's legit like a Pinterest.
Kind of, yeah. And it goes along with Instagram is rewarding this like good content, and so people are going to Instagram to like be inspired, and like Facebook is where your grandma is and where you share your information with people, but like Instagram is where you go to like see what the content creators are creating.
Huh.
So if you want to get anybody under the age of 25, it's a whole new generation that, like I said, there's whole books written about them and how they interact on social media, and it's a lot of video and a lot of savable content.
I'm definitely not 25. I'm like the grandma probably in this entire group. But question about the save. Does it save to your camera roll?
No, it's like
Okay.
you have a little section. There's a lot of like Instagram trainings from Beachbody actually on like how to save like inspiration accounts, or like how to keep like go to your collections and keep track of people that you're talking to and stuff. So like, I don't know why I'm showing you. You can't see this. But no, it just saves it there for you, like a Pinterest board, like in there in your. But yeah, so just put some. You don't, like I said, you don't have to do all of this. You can pick and choose what works for you. Don't try to push and be anything that you're not, but maybe let some of this be a guide to how you start making new content. And the last thing is just interaction. So they reward you interacting in DMs, especially if you're initiating and replying. Of course, we know that like commenting and responding to every comment that people make, and keeping that interaction going on your posts, and just any proactive engagement that you're making. So if you're liking, you're commenting, you're DMing, you're responding to stories, and you're being proactive, shows them that you're a good community member, and they're gonna reward that. How they know, I don't know, but they say it's true.
Do you have any info on like how many messages is too many? Because I know a lot of y'all will come to me and say like they sent me a message that was like, you've done too many actions in a term.
I don't know off the top of my head. I know like there's a certain amount of follows and unfollows you're allowed to do within an hour. Just think that like they are wanting people to organically connect. And so if you're adding 50 people in a power hour, then they're like, most people don't add 50 new people in a day. So I think if you're commenting and interacting with like people that you're already following, then I don't think that would show any red flags, because I think there's high schoolers who sit home all day and just talk on Instagram, so like, but I think when it comes to like adding, that you might want to be careful and break it down into smaller pockets. But I don't know. I don't have like exact like hours, days, weeks data. All right, miscellaneous. So yeah, your follow ratio. I don't have any like data on if it's good or bad. If Instagram sees like you have a lot more followers than you or you're following a lot more than you have followers, I don't know if that matters, but it can warn other people that like you're trying, like you're using follow for follow. So if you're like following a lot more people than you have followers, and people can look at that and be like, oh, she's trying to get people to follow her. Not necessarily, but and then just the idea that follow for follow isn't working as well as it used to. Like people have caught on, like they know, like they might still go to your profile and see, so it's still worth it. Like, but if you're seeing that slow down, it's just because it's a thing now. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows what people are doing when they do follow for follow. So you just might want to be more careful to engage with people that like you really want to engage with. Yeah, that's all. Okay, so recently we were actually talking about this in our team chat. Is a lot of people noticed that their views went drastically down, and their stories, and that happened across the board. Like a lot of people were having this issue, big accounts, small accounts, and Instagram hasn't come out and said this, but word on the street is that it was a bot sweep, and that Instagram is again just trying to get rid of people who are using these apps who watch stories for you or comment for you or do any kind of unorganic interaction, which is actually a good thing for us. It sucks if you see your like counts go down, but it just means you're going to be interacting with more like organic, real people. Instagram did just announce that they are going to start rolling out the no likes thing. So basically you'll be able to see how many likes you have, but it won't be publicly displayed. So if you see a picture on someone's profile, you won't be able to see how many likes it got. They've been testing it for a long time, actually, in about 7 different countries. Canada is one of them. I don't know if they've been doing it everywhere, but it's also probably good news for us. It kind of like stinks, but it's just, again, their heart is to not see girls have their whole entire world wrapped up in how many likes they have, or just our tendency to attach such meaning to how many likes and how, popular something was. I think across the board, it will probably be a good thing, because it'll just, if you have decent content, then it doesn't matter if you only have 10 likes. Like, people can't see that you only have 10 likes. And so I think it'll be better for smaller businesses as they're trying, and, smaller people like us as we're trying to compete with bigger profiles. Okay, I think this is the last thing. There is a new feature being rolled out. I don't know if everybody has it. I have it. I don't think everybody does, so you might not. But it's a following list. And so if you go to your followers on your profile, you can see, if you have it, you'll see categories. And you can click on the categories and say see all, and it's like divided your feed up for you. And at the top is one called least interacted with. And so I have a category right here that's the 50 people that I interact with the least. And then I have one next after that that's most shown in feed. So that's the 50 people that are popping up the most in my feed. And then there's other random ones like food, fitness, sports, style. But those least interacted with and most shown are probably going to become important. I'm not sure how. It could be easy for us to go there and be like, oh, these people aren't interacting with me, I'm not interacting with them, like unfollow, 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 unfollow. Or it could be a place where you'd be like, oh shoot, these people have kind of fallen through the cracks, let me go and like do some liking and commenting on these 50 people's posts and see if I can get them engaging with me. But as this becomes more popular, people might be using it on you too. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't exactly know what it means because it's just rolling out, but it's something to be aware of, that it's a new feature and it could help us, and you just have to decide how you want to use it. That is all I have. Does anybody have any questions? I don't know if I'll have answers for you, but
Aaron in the chat box said I can add 80 people at once and it lets me. I think it's different for everybody, and Stephanie, you might know more, but I think Ilaria has told me she's done 20 in an hour and it shuts her down. But I think from what you were saying is that even if it lets you, it might hide your stuff after that because it's thinking that you're not normally interacting.
It could. Yeah, like I said, there's not a real science to it, but they're going to flag anything that says this isn't organic communication. And so they might let you, but it also then you might see you get less interaction on your posts and stuff, but there's no guarantee of that either. So if it's working for you, keep doing it. I try to add 40 or 50 a day and try to interact with as many of them as I can. But
I have a quick question, and it's about comment pods. And in an Instagram training I did a while ago, it said I've heard some that say do comment pods. And if you guys don't know what a comment pod is, it's basically okay, let's get a group of 5 of us, and every time somebody posts, you say, hey, I just posted, so that those other people go to your post and like it and engage with it, so that that in that very critical time, Instagram sees, oh, this is a popular post and pushed it out more. However, I've also heard that if you're doing it with people on your own team, Beachbody coaches, it's only pushing it out to their followers and their people. So you have a lot of overlap, and you're really missing who you're trying to hit. Do you know anything about that?
guess would be that is correct. That if like you would probably be only pushing it to like the like networks that you guys are already in. I don't know for sure. I do know it's only worth it if you are doing it in that critical time. So if like you're like I'm posting in 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes everybody gets on and like likes and comments right away. It's not going to help you if like throughout the day you're getting stuff. I forgot to be looking at chat. Sorry. Yeah, I personally think the pods are just more work than they're worth, but like I said, if it works for you and if you have the schedule that's like I can get on, and or you like trust that people are going to get on right away and like your stuff, then it could work. But I think it's too much work, but that's just me.
I thought about it because, like, I mean, I put up a post right before this call and it's like flopping. Like, there's like 3 people that liked it, and it's me without a shirt, which usually does semi well. And like, I don't know if I had to like delete it and then repost it because I forgot the video in it. And so I don't know if like Instagram flagged that.
Oh, Erin, I just saw how do you get in the other categories. It could just be like the type of like people that you follow. Like maybe you don't follow enough to like group them into categories. Like I have 4 in food and 4 in fitness, and it's like Joel and Amwala and Elise, like, and like 2 in style and 2 in sports. So I don't have like a ton. I have 1 in beauty, so like maybe you just don't have enough like that they've condensed them into lists for you. But you should have, if you have it, you should at least have the least interacted and the most shown.
Erin, if you saw it, you should go comment on it, you jerk.
Oh, well, I need to. I was bathing my kid, but no, it's interesting. I don't have anything other than sort by following by least and earliest. Like,
I don't either, Erin. I don't have it either.
Man, that would be magical if I could know who's not interacting and be like, bye-bye.
Or on the other hand, it's like, oh, like that could be your whole power hour, right? Because it's those people that are following you. You're not necessarily following them back already.
Sure.
It's your followers.
Yeah.
It could just be people that are following you that you aren't interacting with, and they're obviously following you.
You're following.
Oh, my followers.
Yes, the people that are following you.
No, the people that you are following.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't have anything under followers, like people who are following me. They do like show up in order of like the people who have most recently followed me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind.
I will say that my ability to follow people as my people following me grew, it's almost like they let me follow more people. It's like they change your algorithm, I guess.
Yeah, that's entirely possible too.
Okay, any other questions before we get into 25 minutes of a power hour? That was super helpful, Stephanie. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you.
Does anybody have any other questions? Nope.
Did anyone take a picture of me? I didn't take a picture. I already stopped sharing my screen.
Oh, shoot. I didn't. Start sharing your screen. I'll take one. But I can't get you on like speaker. Oh, there we go. Oh, I know. What's happening? Oh.
Oh, well. It's dumb.
Hold on. But then it's like I see content. I see just the screen instead of like you. Hold on. Got it. View options. Shoot, what did I do before? Okay, there we go. I just had to like make your face big, so it was like you're speaking to us. Okay. All right, let's power hour here. So the first thing, Erin wants to know if you talked about Instagram TV. The only thing she said was really that like it's good. Instagram likes it. You do live videos and TV.
One thing I will say really fast about Instagram TV, sorry, I'm taking our whole power hour, is if you make an Instagram TV video, then you have the option to, or the like ability to link to like do a swipe up to that Instagram TV. So you can, so like I have an Instagram TV video that I made about working out with my kids, why you should work out with my kids, posted it on my Instagram TV and in my feed. Then I can go make a story, and I will have the option to link and like do, and it'll do the swipe up thing to that Instagram story. The cool thing about that is you can put links in the captions of your Instagram story. So you could have a why you should join my Fitsgiving group, this is what we're doing, Instagram TV, and then you can go do like post that, and in the comment or in the caption of that have the link to your Google form or however you're having people sign up. Post it all, and then go do just a normal story that's like, hey, I just talked about how you can join my group, swipe up to see the IGTV, and it just makes you like look like legit. So
you just add it to your story. Wait, swipe up? So you add it to your story and then it like says to swipe up?
So if you've added the IGTV, so let's see. Whoopsies. Then you just go and you post like any old picture. Like I have this like picture of Callan, and I have the option up here now. It like looks like a chain link, and you can click on that and you can swipe up to link to your IGTV video. I don't know why I'm trying to show you. I know you can't see it.
Figure this out. A chain link?
Does that make sense?
No. Oh, I'll have to ask you on the side.
I mean, I can explain it again if it's worth it.
We're back, Mary Catherine, because I don't even know how to start an Instagram channel. Like,
well, I just learned.
Google will tell you. It's a little daunting, but it doesn't have to be fancy. What you should do is have a cover photo and like, okay, I say should. You don't have to. It's great if you have like a cover photo made and you go into like an editing app and you like splice together and have a cover photo, because you can choose what you want the cover to be. So it could be a nice like, well, you should work out with your kids, like instead of just a screenshot of you like in an awkward like.
That would be mine. That would be my Instagram TV videos.
So Mary Catherine, if you go just like go to your like you're gonna add a picture to your story.
Yep.
At the and like you've put the picture there. At the top, do you have an option to like it looks like a little link?
Wait, a picture?
Yeah. So just yeah, like it could be a selfie of yourself right now.
Yeah.
Do you have the links?
Up to link.
You should be able to click and pick one of your IGT videos to link to.
But I'm just testing this out. What it does. It didn't ask me to type anything. Nope, it just is a picture of Carly.
Does it say tag business partner?
Yeah.
That would come up?
Okay, when I go to that picture of Carly, I swipe up and it goes straight to your video.
Oh, I see. Cool. Mary Catherine, do you have a channel yet set up?
Well, I have 2 videos, and I put one in a thing, a series, but I don't know how to get the other one in the series. So there's that. I have one in there, and I don't know how to add the other one. Edit series.
So is the whole point of IGTV, like, yeah, it'll float to the top of people's feed better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Instagram is pushing video content right now. So
yeah, it's like Ashley Smith and Michael Folsom. They've got the little pretty cover photo, and then it transforms into a video. I'm like, I don't even know how to do that.
I know. I'm not very good at it. I can't even remember off the top of my head the name of the app that I use. I can type it in chat later when I find it on my phone. I found it really difficult. Like I wanted it to be a lot easier. And so I'm sure there's an app coming soon that's like easy editing Instagram, like, and maybe it already exists. I'm not young enough.
I just use the same thing that I use for my workouts, and I do it in Viva Video, and I just kind of like spliced out the dead time when because I do like my easy, healthy cooking, like simple meals.
Can you add titles and like transitions and pictures in daily videos?
I don't, and mainly because that's not really my brand.
And that's fine. You should not spend a lot of time on it. Like, it's probably not worth as much time and effort as like.
Right, and that's kind of like I'm not a professional, and I'm not going to make professional video content. I'm just like a lazy mom showing another lazy mom how lazy I can cook. And
right, which is a great brand. And you have like 3 or 4 Instagram, like IGTV videos out, where me, I'm a perfectionist and I can't have it without the like cover photo and the transitions and the text. So I have one that I made like 2 months ago. And so like, I'm not making content because it would take too much time for me to do it the way I want to do it. So like, there's a way that like your way is better because you're getting more content out there that's you. I just can't do it that way.
I wish it was more visually pleasing because people take you seriously. So
yes.
My next thing is to just put a cover photo of like what I made instead of like freeze framing in my face like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, because that's how it always is. Like, is like the first part that people see, and it's like, what the?
You could use this, like, blur it, like take the opacity down or whatever, and then use that same font that you use on Fridays and put like that font over it and be like, easy spaghetti squash dinner or whatever, and then like that's your cover photo that you save, and that's what shows up in your feed.
Yes, that. If I could also take good pictures of my food, it would help. But anyway, okay, that's super helpful. And Erin, I just took a picture of how to do Instagram TV, so you'll see the little icon. I'll send it to you in a second. Okay, let's do 15 minutes of a power hour. So really the only thing we're going to do is invites because that's the most important thing. So that's what we're doing. So as a general reminder, invites, you can people that liked or commented on your most recent transformation. So if you don't have a recent transformation, there's the first thing you need to fix, right? Like you should always have a transformation where you can invite people from. People watching your stories from your workouts. So if you didn't post your workout in your stories, you need to fix it. General people that like are following you, like I've gone back to like people who are following me and been like, hey, Erin, I realized that we've been following each other, but I've never invited you to my fitness group. I have a new group starting on Monday. Just thought you would be interested. Would you like some info? Something like that. So let's see how many follow invites. We're not doing follows. Invites we can get in the next 15 minutes. Ready, go. All right. How many did you guys get? 20. Good. 18. Good. What'd you do the rest of the time?
I got all caught up on all my challenge groups, which is like a chore.
Yeah. 7. Jen, why do you feel like it takes you a ton of time?
I don't know. It just does. I feel like because I'm trying to see like if I've messaged them recently. So I was on my stories, like who was watching like a workout. And so I don't want to message them if I just messaged them, like early last week or a couple weeks ago. And I only have, I don't know, probably like 80 views or something. So trying to go through and see. And then if I haven't messaged them, then I just copy and paste the script, kind of the script I have in. But I don't know. I'm just slow moving.
Do you have that little button in your messages, like where you type, there's a little 3 dot and it can save all your scripts?
I do, and I have been resistant to save them because I'm still trying to get them organized because I feel like I have so many different ones depending on like what I'm talking about, which is probably what also takes me a while.
I create a new one from like story invite, November invite, follow up, and that way, like when I do, because it does take me a longer time to go through in my stories, but I'll just click on them, like I'll click Jen and I'll see like if the message above they never responded to, I'll unsend it, I'll delete it, and then I'll send them. Ilaria taught me that. And
why have I not thought of that?
I unsend it because whatever, they're still watching my stories, so I'm going to send. So I unsend it and then I just send whatever it is for that month, like my November story invite or whatever it is. Because remember, it takes you, usually the average time someone says no is 7. 7 times it usually takes. So don't let that like hinder you because you messaged before.
Okay. Cool.
All right, guys, thanks for jumping on. And